Hello, everybody. Drew here for Drew Dat Entertainment and Drew Dat Games. Back on Drew Dat Games channel for the Drew Dat Games podcast, episode number 43. Was it the second or third live one? Second, right?
I think we're at third now.
Yeah, I lost track.
Yeah.
But with that being said, before I introduce who is here, just a quick check with the chat. I see Chunk the Punk's the only one here. Our Sniper Elite is in the chat. Thank you for being here, my friend. Just to check with you, Chunk. Desert Nord, all right. Say something, Nord.
Yeah, can you hear me?
What do you think, Chunk? Do I have to turn them up, or are they good? Just waiting for Chunk to say something in the chat. But Until then, with that in mind, obviously Desert Nord is here. Hey, bro.
Hey there.
And also joining us, it's good. Thanks, Chunk. So with that in mind, the third amigo to our three-man team. We are three strong again, as he is the official member of our team these days. Joshy064. Hey, Joshy.
Going. Welcome everybody to the chat.
So far, it's just Chunk the Punk, so just our sniper in the chat, which is exactly where we need him to be. With that in mind, we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, with the title of this thing, talking about Battlefront 3, obviously we're going to talk about that and whatnot. Also, Microsoft to stop supporting or bringing more reverse compatible games to Xbox. With that, Chunk the Punk in the chat says, hail to Desert Nord and Joshy.
Yep, hail.
Huh?
Yep. Well, keeping in mind that anytime I'm in a chat, I say hail to whoever it is. It doesn't matter if it's Gary from Nerdrotic, Chunk the Punk, Joshy, Desert Nord, Radio, Mara, Steph, Phil. It does not matter. Hail to everybody, because I was effectively brought up with that by way of Friday Night Tights, so sort of speak. Why do I make it sound like I've been watching Friday Night Tights since I was like 5?
I don't know.
Well, we're longtime fans of all those guys, so.
Yeah. Well, you're the one that turned me on to Friday Night Tights in the first place, Nord, but we're getting sidetracked here. Microsoft reverse compatibility, EA and what's up with Battlefront 3. Sony and Nintendo release a statement about Activision Blizzard situation. We'll get into that. Halo Infinite's multiplayer situation. We'll get into that. Games with Gold and PlayStation Plus Instant Game Collection games have been announced, even though Games with Gold games are already live. We'll get into that as well. EA has canceled Madden 22 franchise mode updates. We'll get into that. And we'll close things out with a topic that you would normally not get on this podcast. You would normally get something like that on Breaking Rocks on the Entertainment Channel, but sometimes politics and gaming cross over once in a while. And this is one of those situations. But with that in mind, we're starting off with the headline, the main events of the stream itself. EA reportedly cancels Battlefront 3 due to licensing cost issues with Disney. Nord, your thoughts?
Yeah, the story is really, I mean, they've seen what can happen when a game comes out and it's not good, but then it gets better.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't really have any normal popularity reasons to do this. They didn't have any lack of a fan base or something.
Well,
so this was just straight up not wanting to invest in it. whatsoever.
Well,
That's what this was.
if you go back to when Battlefront 2 came out, they had an uphill battle with Battlefront 2 in the first place.
No, that's my point. That's what I said. It came out, it wasn't good, but it's since been improved, which seems to be a very common pattern with new games. They come out, they suck, they've got all these problems, and then they get fixed over time and eventually become games that we call good.
But then I could go back further to Battlefront 1 with DICE and EA, which basically had nothing in it.
Yeah.
Joshy, anything to add?
Basically, we're just beta testers for all these games that are out nowadays. I didn't know that they were going to be making a Battlefront 3 until you decided the other day. But like I said, like what your brother said, basically, it's like they didn't want to do this one because I guess they're probably gonna have a little bit of backlash and whatnot, though. Possibly also the if they had Blade 1 on there, they'd probably rebrand it to Firestarter or whatnot, though, and everybody's be like, what?
Or whatever the fuck it's called that no one gives a fuck anyway.
Yeah.
At this point, because new Star Wars is dead anyway. The only thing that matters is the original trilogy, then the sequel trilogy. And that's what the prequels.
EA, and that's what I think that EA is seeing here, and they're seeing that Star Wars is fading, really fading, into obscurity, and they don't want to invest a bunch of millions of dollars or whatever into a new game for it.
Which means that so much for Jedi Fallen Order 2 then, at that point. That
doesn't mean no one will. That doesn't mean no one will take the risk of producing a new Star Wars game. It just means EA doesn't want to.
Yeah, but keep in mind that the Jedi Fallen Order 1 was published by EA, which means that there won't be a second one then.
But they could always offer the IP to another developer.
EA won't do that because they're greedy fucks.
Yeah, but they're not going to do anything with it. So what are they gaining?
Although in theory, it's Disney actually owns it, so EA is not really involved in that then. At that point.
Yeah, well, it was a licensing issue according to them, but or according to the source anyway.
But then again, they've also basically said that with the NFL franchise at this point too, with Madden, that they don't like how much it's costing them to make NFL games. Well, they don't fucking make NFL games anymore. Let Take-Two or any other fucking publisher do it, you motherfucking pricks.
That's because the NFL themselves are like, well, in order to be allowed to do this, you got to pay us millions of dollars for the licensing. And they're like, okay, well, if we invest millions of dollars for the licensing up front, and then we drop who knows how many millions and how many years into developing a game, and then maybe people will play it, what they're looking at is they don't see the metric of it being worthwhile at that point.
It'll be worthwhile if you put the money into it to make it good. Then you will make that money back, and then some, EA.
Sure, that's the classic point that gamers would make on our side is that if they make a good game, we'll beat a path to their door if they make a good game.
Keeping in mind, I am more than just a gamer. I also work in the retail industry, so this is coming from a retailer as well. So take that for what it's worth, guys.
I'm just saying that they've got to know we'll beat a path to their door if they make a good game. They got to know that.
Yeah.
And so this idea, well, if we don't make a game that's perfect, or if we make a game, it won't be liked because that IP is so yesterday or so 2020 or whatever. They always say funny things like that. EA is making a dumb decision, obviously, but it's a money decision.
Yeah.
They probably just want all the backlash. So they're like, okay, we're doing this, and then with all the backlash.
Sure, not to mention EA isn't capable of doing anything that isn't woke anymore.
Speaking of backlash, Battlefield 2042, and then I'm moving on now to the next topic. So, speaking of potential issues, I don't know if this is one or if it will be one, but Microsoft supposedly to stop supporting reverse compatibility, as in, for example, not bringing more games into the reverse compatibility portfolio due to licensing and stuff like nobody knowing who owns the license to what for stuff that old anymore. And for
yeah, like covering in their ass.
Yeah, but here's the thing with stuff that's of a certain age, let's say. If it's old enough, the licensing likely has expired, which means it's up for grabs, Microsoft. We know you got the money. You just spent $7 fucking billion on Bethesda. So we know you got the money to go out and buy an IP from somewhere that no one potentially owns at that point.
Yeah.
Just go do a little research. You'll find something good that you can reboot to make a shit ton of money on. Either way. Anyone else want to add anything to the reverse compatibility thing before we move on?
I think they're probably just like I'm thinking just the way that they're thinking of it. It's just that they're probably just throwing money on the hole. Like nobody's gonna want these old games. That's possibly another reason why they're probably not doing it as well. That's my opinion, though. But I don't know.
Well, I can tell you that kids who played those games when they were brand new, like on the Xbox 360, are largely becoming adults and having kids now or will be soon. Then they'll be wanting to share their childhood with their children, which means that if they don't have the games, they're going to want to find them to let their kids play their childhood. Much like with our dad.
Yeah.
Hence why I started playing on the Atari 2600 and the Super Nintendo. So, but it is what it is. But there will always be a market for old things. As long as there are people who were around to play them when they were brand new, there will always be a market for old things. And as long as that gets passed on through the generation, guess what? I don't care how far down the generation you go, people are still going to want to play that old shit just to see what it was like. Just saying.
Yeah.
Case in point with VHS tapes and VCRs. Kids largely don't know what that is because there's largely can't find them anywhere.
Yeah, but here's the thing, bro. It's with the money with these people. They know that nostalgia can be powerful, but only when utilized with a new property. If nostalgia is used as, well, here's that old thing you remember fondly, and here it is again exactly as it was then, that is pure nostalgia. It's 100% nostalgia. And that tends to be very limited market situation. And what I mean by that is, it's never going to be like, oh, well, there's this new release of an old IP. It's not changed at all. It's exactly the same, but it's going to be a blockbuster. It's like, that's not going to happen. In order for something to be a blockbuster, it has to appeal to everyone, not just the nostalgia crowd.
Yeah.
And they know that.
Speaking, Joshy, did you have anything before we went to the next thing?
No.
All right. So with that in mind, Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft all have released statements about the Activision Blizzard situation. Nord, what is the Activision Blizzard situation for those that don't know?
Well, the company is a wreck. Just because of everything they've gone through with employees turning on each other, employees turning on the company, their relations with China, the bad PR involving censorship with gamers, the whole list of things that they've gone through in the last year or so, where essentially the company is just a fractured mess of just every kind of problem you can imagine, everything from financial to reputational problems to wacky decision-making, disunified employees, walkouts, developer strife, all sorts of things.
Are you talking about still Activision Blizzard or Sony?
Well, I was talking about Blizzard, partly Blizzard, but partly Activision also. You had mentioned Activision Blizzard.
Yeah,
That's what you had mentioned.
yeah, I know, but it sounded like you were also describing Sony and PlayStation to me.
No, well, Sony has had that type of stuff, the bad PR stuff, but that's a separate situation.
Speaking of which, Sony said in their statement that they don't support what Activision Blizzard is in trouble for. Yet Sony is getting sued for a lot of the same things too currently. So pop calling kettle black here. But before we get Josh's thoughts, I do want to say one thing that I was going to start the stream saying, and I forgot all about it when I saw Chunk the Punk in the chat there. This particular episode of the Rebooting Games podcast, episode number 43, is in fact dedicated to that Umbrella guy who recently got his channel nuked completely. Joshy, what specifically happened?
Going all over Twitter right now, and I'm looking Yellow Flash, and I've just made a video about it. So far, I believe, from what I've been reading on Twitter, is that he had like some anime cleavage shown, and I guess that's what terminated him.
Imagine that.
Woke up this morning. He just woke up this morning. He's like, "Oh yeah, they terminated me from while I was asleep." What?
So they got to him in his sleep. Well, that's how they do it.
No.
They come after you while you're in your sleep. But yeah, so the rest of this stream is dedicated to that Umbrella guy. Yep, Chunk. Tug got nuked. He's not on YouTube anymore, which does suck because I was a fan too. And
that's.
And I only just found out about it from Joshy like a minute before I hit the live button. So, but I did want to talk about that and bring that up, and like I said, dedicate the rest of this stream to that Umbrella guy. So this is for you, Tug. To trolls and assholes in Google, go fuck yourself and fuck Naughty Dog.
Yep.
So with all that in mind, fuck you too, Sony. And fuck Activision Blizzard as well. Joshy, your thoughts on Activision Blizzard and what Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft had to say to them?
I haven't looked at that, so I haven't.
Well, basically, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo came out together with a press release condemning Activision Blizzard and what they've been into with all the harassment and all that and sexual harassment at the company and all this, that, and the other thing. Meanwhile, Sony is under investigation or lawsuits, if you will, for a lot of the same shit. So, yeah.
Yeah, the major companies involved in gaming right now are full of people basically trying to all cancel each other at all the same time. And it's just that Activision Blizzard was a situation where they really over leveraged their reputation so badly that when everything decided to, slide off the hill, it pulled the whole rug. It pulled everything that was resting on the company over the edge. Everything. People who had been
going down and taking you with me.
Yeah, people who had been players of their games for 20 years were like, "That's it, I'm done. Screw you guys. I'm canceling my everything. You can die in a corner," basically, to that company.
Yeah.
Now, I am not any kind of an activist about much of anything in regards to this.
Yeah.
But man, what Blizzard did, especially involving the Chinese government, man, that shit was unforgivable.
Yeah, I remember. And then also, don't forget, what do you not have phones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never forget that either, guys. I certainly have not. And I'm not even a Diablo fan, so think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, Halo Infinite's multiplayer has a hacker problem on PC. Well, no fucking shit. When you have a multiplayer game which is basically hinges on cross-platform play with a platform that is so prevalent with hacking, bots, and cheaters, duh.
Yep.
Because I will die on... No, this is one of many hills that you will have to bury me in. I won't die on it. It's going to be my fucking grave, and I will remain there after I'm dead. That being, consider me an opponent of cross-platform play console to PC. I do not mind it, console to console. I welcome it. But console to PC, go fuck yourself. Anyone else want to chime in before I get canceled?
No, I would just agree with you. So yeah, fuck them.
And let's say fucking cheaters with aimbots, everything else on this
And
I'm not sure if it's cross-platform though with Xbox though. Like I know some guys when I'm playing with it, sometimes they have like aimbots on it as well too. Like,
well, and bots, aren't those usually just used on PC?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
So there you go, Josh. You just proved our point.
Oh yeah.
And you just proved the topic to be true. But
Hey, pretty much verified that indeed they do have a bot problem.
Yep.
And it's again, it's every PC game. It's the talk about mods and bots are the PC weapons in the arsenal against the console people. And I still don't get it. Developers are staring the solution right in the freaking eyes. Segregate them. Say, here's the version for the computer people, the PC people, the supreme race people, the master race PC people. And here's the version for the console people.
Which, by the way, I also play games on Steam. I also play on PC these days, but there's a place to play on PC. It's called PC. And then there's console for people who cannot afford a gaming laptop or a gaming PC or a dedicated high-end gaming PC to play everything in native 4K, 120 frames a second, in stunning, beautiful bullshit.
You would think that all of these socialists who run these companies would understand the concept of a level playing field. They talk about it all the time about level playing fields and fair play and fairness and sharing. But then it comes time to develop a game, and suddenly it's, if people are cheating, oh well, screw you, don't care.
You sound like you're turning into Eric July there, Nord.
You know what I mean. Like the solution is staring them right in the face, and they don't want to do it because they think it will detract from the game somehow. When everyone, I think PC people and console people would both say, no, this would be better. Can we keep each other apart so that we can all have a fair experience, maybe?
So to recap and translate what Nord was just saying for the chat for you, Chunk, Desert Nord is into segregation and he's turning into Eric July.
Just echoes.
So anyway, Joshy, anything to add before we get crucifying crossplay with PC? And moving on to Games with Gold Games for December? I'll take that as a no then, Joshy.
That's a negative.
All right. So Xbox Games with Gold for December 2021 were announced like a week ago. I didn't know that. I only found out about it yesterday. And they went live. It's the 3rd, so 2 days ago on the 1st. So starting 2 days ago, going to the 31st, for Xbox One, you can download and play The Escapist 2. Didn't even know there was a first one. For Xbox One, from the 1st to the 31st. Also for Xbox One, Tropical 5. Never played the previous 4. December 15th to January 15th. For Xbox 360, Orcs Must Die, from December 1st to the 15th. And also for the 360, Insanity Twisted Shadowy Planet, that's a mouthful, December 15th to the 31st. Nord, your thoughts on the Games with Gold lineup for December? Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, everybody, to that one.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah. But the list there is, again, it's one of those ones where it's not the worst I've seen, but it ain't the best either.
Let me just bring up what Chunk just said in the chat for you, Nord. He's commenting on what I said about you turning into Eric July, and Chunk says as long as he doesn't start calling himself King Roy.
Yeah, no.
No, but his name is derived from effectively the Skyrim universe. So effectively, Desert Nord is effectively the Dragonborn. So he's Dovahkiin.
No. I like to consider myself one of the disciples of Isgrimor, but hey, what do I know?
It depends on what day it is.
Yeah. They never included any kind of inner circle with Isgrimor, but anyway, that's all Skyrim stuff.
You seem in my experience to know more on a Monday than a Friday.
Oh, well, it happens.
Anyway, so Joshy, any thoughts on the Games with Gold lineup for December for the free games that we're getting?
Yeah, like your brother said, like it's not the worst, but it's not the best either, though. Like I know I played The Escapist before, just like the tutorial, and it's like, at that Tropico, I believe I tried before. That's the one where basically you're like, I think I tried it before because I know there was actually no, the Civilization one is like Tropico. I don't think I've ever tried though, but
I'm familiar with it. I remember seeing the cases at the store at work over the years, but never played them.
Yes, same here.
But in terms of it, this is just my personal opinion. They have theirs, and that's fine, because much like with Geeks and Gamers, this is a place of free speech, much like the other podcast, only this is for free speech for gaming opinions at this point. But with that in mind, my opinion of Games with Gold for December is Merry Christmas, have some shit.
Or a lump of gold.
This is kind of like that regifted fruitcake version of a video game, Games with Gold month.
So with that in mind, PlayStation Plus Instant Game Collection for December was announced as well, which goes live Wednesday of next week. For PlayStation 4, Lego DC Supervillains, and also for PS4, Mortal Shell, not familiar with that at all. And for PS5, Godfall Challenger Edition. But PlayStation Access claimed in their video that it was, I don't know if I misheard them or not, but I swear that they said that the Godfall Challenger Edition was playable on PS4. I was not aware Godfall even came out on PS4. I was under the impression that was a next-gen only game. So if this new edition of Godfall is also coming out for PS4 and PlayStation Plus, that's a big fucking deal right there. That's a new release for a next-gen game on last-gen hardware, if that's the case. And if that's the case, if this is accurate and true, this means PlayStation hands down wins December to close out 2021. No question about it. And the controller turned off, so they heard nothing about anything that I just said. As I was pointing out, the controller turned off, so you guys heard nothing of what I just said. So I will repeat myself. If this is true, this means that in PlayStation Plus for December, we will be getting a next-gen game for last gen, if this is true, which is a big fucking deal, which means to close out the year, Sony and PlayStation win the free games war, even though it's not a war, but we go back and forth seeing which one is better and which one isn't every time this happens at the end of every month here on the channel. Sony hands down wins December and hands down closes out strong if this is the case for PlayStation Plus with Godfall.
Yeah, I was definitely going to say seeing Godfall on that list is not something I expected.
Yeah.
And yeah,
there's an update from the
games with gold for December for sure at that point.
Yeah, there's an update from our sniper in the chat, Chunk the Punk. Yeah, Godfall is on PS4.
Wow, there you go.
Okay, so Chunk the Punk is confirming that for us. We'll see when on Wednesday we'll be trying to download that to the PS4, and I'll be trying to stream and play it. God help the internet for that. Because as Chunk says in the chat, it probably runs like crap, though. I'll download because I was interested in it. So was I. Until I went, fuck Sony and take your PS5 and shove it up your ass, which it will hurt because of the points on top.
You said you'd be streaming on Wednesday. Wednesday is Halo's.
The next day. Which I usually take Thursdays off from streaming. So I'll do a random Thursday stream for it then. At that point, well, I thought Halo came out on Tuesday for the campaign.
No. For Thursday, December 8th. That's going to be on the list.
Yeah.
Usually video games come out either Tuesday or Fridays. From what I remember from my
Then this is confusing as fuck because games normally come out on the Tuesdays and Thursdays, or technically at 11 p.m. on Mondays or on Thursdays. So it's usually Tuesdays and Fridays, effectively, at midnight Eastern time. Where's my calendar?
Too, because that's weird too. Because Halo's actually coming out like say 11 o'clock, either 10 or 11 o'clock a.m. my time on a. Over there around the New York, it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, okay.
So the 8th is Wednesday, so it would have to be on Tuesday at 10 p.m. then, Central Time, then. Or 11 p.m. Central Time, then.
A.m. It's at a.m.
What the fuck are you doing, Microsoft? Trying to kill us?
Let me pull it up. I think it's been shot.
You're going to give me a fucking aneurysm even before your shit fucking drops.
There it is. All right.
Okay, what's the official information?
This is the screenshot of it. I only took a screenshot of the U.S. New York, December 8th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Seattle, December 8th, 10 a.m.
So 8th and 10th. That's a wide fucking gap.
No, 8th.
So,
yes, December 8th at 10 a.m. though, for Seattle though.
So it's the same day.
Most likely, probably gonna be you start at 10, 11. Yeah, it's gonna be right.
Okay.
But it's like weird timing, just weird.
So Phil Spencer is smoking crack, apparently. Or I'm guessing that he's been hanging out at the White House smoking crack with Biden, but whatever. Or smoking Xanax, one of the two. Anyway, EA cancels updates for Madden 22 franchise mode, therefore abandoning fixing Madden for the rest of its life cycle. Did
isn't that lovely?
Did Joshy disappear?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay, he's
I'm
here.
here.
Okay.
There we go.
Because I heard a sound like
I'm here.
someone either dropped in or popped out or whatever over there. And I didn't know what was going on. All I heard was only Nord, so. But yeah, EA's canceling Madden 22 franchise mode update. So they're abandoning the franchise mode entirely, effectively, for the life cycle of Madden 22. Nord?
Yeah, because, supposedly nobody cared about franchise mode.
So,
And I'm like, yeah, well, that's like been one of the core parts of the game for more than a decade. So
Desert Nord and I are two nobodies. How about you guys in the chat? Evidently. So we're nobodies.
yeah, no, you know what I mean by supposedly. Yeah,
I know.
it's like they don't have a pulse. They don't have a finger on anybody's pulse. It's like when they make decisions, they don't ask anybody what they think of it. They just say, "Hey, I got an idea. Let's delete the franchise mode." And everyone in the boardroom goes, "Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that."
They're just like Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Enough said. Because I've already said a lot about him over the years, and he can take his wrinkled 80-year-old ass and retire into an early, however you want to word it. As CM Punk said, I'd like to think that WWE will be better off once Vince McMahon is dead. But it's going to be taken over by his doofus son-in-law and his idiotic daughter. I think I got those phrases backwards. I think it's idiotic daughter and his doofus son-in-law. But I don't care which one's the idiot or the doofus between Stephanie McMahon.
Well, doofus daughter
and Triple
kind of
H
rolls off the tongue better.
Anyway, hail to CM Punk, best in the world, and let's go AEW. Anyway, anyone want to add anything before we get to the kind of a topic that I normally don't want to get to on the gaming podcast?
No, I don't have anything to add.
Joshy?
No, nothing to add.
Okay, so here on the gaming podcast, we leave talking about like bills or anything Washington related on Breaking Rocks, where that kind of thing is warranted. But once in a while, shit crosses over into the gaming industry with politics. This is one of those occasions. A bill has been introduced to the United States, I guess, Senate or House or something.
Probably the House. That's where bills get introduced usually.
To make scalping illegal. And I can't believe the name of this thing. It's called Stop the Grinch Bots Act. And I tweeted this out as soon as I saw the report come up. So tweet it. So then retweet it and whatnot. I simply said in my post, we need to support this bill. That's all I said. But retweet that because we need to support stopping these bots on retailers' websites. Because of these things, retailers, which I work for a major one, Target, cannot do our job properly getting game consoles like PS5 or Series S, which is the white thing right next to the TV over here.
Yep.
Yeah, right there. I'm pointing at. My finger's touching it on the screen. But yeah, we can't get that to you, or Series X, or either version of the PS5, because retailers, because of the bots, are failing at our fucking job for you. And we're looking bad because of it, because we refuse to do shit about it. Well, finally, someone is finally deciding to do shit about it. And I 100% support this bill. I don't give a damn if it was introduced by a Republican or a Democrat or an independent or a communist or whatever the fuck. Support this goddamn bill.
No.
Because this bill is fucking needed to make gamers' lives better with trying to get our hands on next gen, which the parties that should give a shit, retailers, Sony and Microsoft, don't seem to give a fuck about you whatsoever.
What I was going to say, bro, is that whenever the federal government, especially in this case the federal government, gets involved in economic affairs, commerce, as they say.
I normally don't like it, but in this case, it's needed.
What I would say is I need to make sure for myself, at least, before I say anything negative or positive about it, I would need to make sure I understand the mechanism they're insinuating is a solution, because oftentimes what Congress will do is they will run to the rescue of a problem, which this is definitely a problem, but then offer a solution that only makes things worse.
However, I'm pretty sure that this was introduced by a Republican, because the senator introducing it was actually on Newsmax TV on YouTube, which I was watching that last night or this morning while I was getting ready for work, but it was a show that was on last night that was just rerunning. That the senator introducing this bill was interviewed by the host of the show, and that's how I became aware of this, and I merely wrote it in for this stream to discuss with you guys, because
so the questions that, aside from the basic, we all agree that the scalping is ridiculous, so that the bots that are employed are a bullshit mechanism that really shouldn't be happening. Pretty much everybody can agree with that.
Absolutely.
But the question mark I have is, if they're saying let's illegalize scalping, then I would say, okay, well, then let's discuss, what do you guys suggest? What are you guys in Congress saying the punishment for scalping is? And then what is your mechanism of stopping the scalping? Because
these are discussions that do need to be had, yes.
Yeah, the specifics are important to me, because I think the specifics will determine how effective it is in the first place.
Indeed.
Because I can throw support behind just about anything, but if it doesn't do any good or doesn't solve the problem, then what's the point? It's like saying, well, we're not going to be there on time. Let's just step on the gas. Well, the problem with stepping on the gas in some cases is that you may crash before you actually get there. You know what I mean?
Well,
in theory, you'll get there faster, but you also may crash on the way. Let's not crash on the way, shall we?
I do know from firsthand experience from trying to get a hands on a next-gen system, and also working for a retailer as well, a major one. I've seen both sides as a customer and as the retailer, effectively, because of it being part of the truck team. So I see when the systems come in anyway. But
here would be a simple idea, that I had before, I think I mentioned when we discussed this to begin with, is they could easily set aside a certain percentage of their stock to be in-store sale only.
Yeah, well, we're not going to do that because that wouldn't make sense.
Well,
and do it, and
touche, I guess.
And secondly, if the corporate headquarters hadn't thought of that already, well, they're never going to.
No, I know.
That's just my opinion of the corporate idiots at headquarters in Minneapolis.
No, they're not idiots. They're trying to maximize sales, and they figured that it's easier, smoother, less complicated more advantageous for the customer to not have to actually go to the physical store to get the system.
Yeah, in doing that, you're killing your public perception with your customer, and therefore them getting screwed out of their Christmas present for their kid or for their spouse or whatever the product is. If they have to compete with bots online only, they get fucked out of it. Christmas gets ruined, and retailers are seen as effectively participating in this Ponzi scheme.
But let me just say, I don't expect any of the 60-plus-year-olds in the Congress on either side of the aisle to understand the first damn thing about anything electronic, digital, or online.
Yeah, they don't. Which is why when I saw this, I'm like, oh my God, does Washington realize that they're actually in the year 2021 for the first time ever?
Yeah, I would hope that it's a younger bunch that are discussing this, because an older bunch aren't going to know their ass from their elbow about it.
I don't think the senator that I saw on screen was that young, but he certainly is no.
Yeah, I'd imagine not.
But he certainly didn't look like an old fart either.
Okay, well, whatever. I'm just saying that it just tends, the elder bunch tend to not know anything about this at all. And I hate talking about politicians on here, but we've already gone down this rabbit hole. We might as well finish the job here, because you guys know me. Once I go down a rabbit hole, I'm going to the fucking bottom, all right? So with that in mind, when I think about young politicians, I picture AOC or whatever the fuck her name is. She can fuck off. And when I picture old farts, I picture geriatric Joe Biden. He can fuck off. Yeah.
That's Joe Biden.
Yeah. When I picture respectful politicians, I can only think of one off the top of my head, and he's somewhere in between the two in age, and that's Rand Paul. I'm done talking about politics now.
I just wonder what they're.
This concludes the politics session of the Drew Games podcast. Back to gaming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did somebody spring a leak?
What happened?
It sounded like someone said shh. Oh.
No, it's probably my end.
Oh, so it was probably Nord that sprung the leak. Anyway, let's check in with Joshy in the chat. Let's see. Godfall. It probably runs like crap. Yeah. I'll check it out as in my Chunk. I thought you weren't on Twitter, because it's a Twitter post about the bill. But anyway, hell yeah, scalpers are assholes. Scalpers do no favors to the economy. That extra money spent by people who buy scalp stuff could go elsewhere instead of going to these scumbags. Yep.
Yeah.
Chunk the Punk has it in the chat there. The Sniper Elite.
Yeah,
they were especially bad with the stupid little toys they have for the Wii U. Like the Skylander ones. The little every time like a new shipment came in when I was at retail at Target, scalpers always came in like took them all.
I didn't really notice that, because I wasn't like buying or trying to buy any of that shit.
Yeah, I was in electronics.
I first encountered them with the pre-orders for PlayStation 5 at the time, which I initially had one, but I was more interested in the Xbox Series X at the time. And then Sony pissed me off, so eventually I canceled my PS5 pre-order. Little did I know I should have kept it all along at that point. But it is what it is, and here I am with a Series S, so...
Desert looking party.
The desert has become barren. So anyway, yeah... Yeah. Josh in the chat. Yeah. I'm not on Twit. Yeah. Because that's where the post is. But the report was on Newsmax, and then someone else shared a video talking about it. It was Dustin from IGN on his personal YouTube channel. So go check out Dustin's YouTube channel. Welcome back, Nord. How's
sorry about
how's the sand?
that. Yeah, it dropped off a bit.
Yeah. Well, I hear this time of year in Arizona, the sand dunes get kind of steep.
I wouldn't know. I'm in suburbs right now. So.
It's obviously a desert Southwest joke from a Midwesterner.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's just really kind of bouncy type connection today.
Yeah. Well, Joshy was having an issue with his router earlier too, so before the stream even. Thankfully, I'm not having any issues, so which is good because I'm the one actually broadcasting this shit on YouTube. But with that in mind, as I was saying before Desert Nord popped out, I remember being aware of the Scalpers when the PS5 pre-orders went live, and somehow I managed to snag one, even though I wound up canceling it because Sony pissed me off with some of their decision making. So I canceled it and told Sony to go suck a peach, to borrow a line from Clownfish TV, since I'm ripping everybody off today, evidently. So, because we've already ripped off Gary with Hale, now we're ripping off Nian from Clownfish TV with Go Suck a Peach. Just do me a favor, don't go suck any Atomic Donald's grapes, which he is now using on the cover of his new single that dropped today called Naked, apparently. I'm not looking forward to doing a reaction on Judah Entertainment for that because I may violate some shit, I'm afraid. I definitely will with the fucking thumbnail, so I'm not using that. Because it's effectively him sitting there naked, effectively, Nord.
Yeah.
What the hell is Tom McDonald doing?
He's trying to be outlandish.
Well, he did a number this time. Because he has me scared to watch a video for the first time ever. Which is really hard to do, I'm just saying. Because I've watched like World War II documentaries about fucking you-know-who from World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean graphic documentaries, mind you. So it's hard to disgust me. It's hard to scare me. And Tom McDonald's naked tattooed ass kind of scares me.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. But aside from what I'm up to, gonna be scared to try to do after this, do you guys have any other things you guys want to discuss while we're still here?
I got one.
What's that, Joshy?
The Respawn Entertainment posted this here days ago. They're saying that they made the decision to discontinue boost sales on original topical games 30 days ago. They'll be removing the game from subscription services on March 1st, 2022.
Which game?
Titanfall.
The original.
The original. That's all that it just say Titanfall.
Well, it has no single player campaign, so who gives a fuck?
I like Titanfall though.
Now, when I say that, that's my personal inner thoughts coming out. Game journalist in me sees this as a bad thing. Personally, I don't give a fuck. But from a real journalistic standpoint, this is bad for gaming because if you want to go back and play it, guess what? or if you haven't gotten it, guess what? You're not going to get it anymore. Does this mean that they're shutting down the servers for it, or have they done that?
They say we will however be keep servers live from dedicated fan base still playing with both game or
Okay,
into a match.
So if you already own it, you're fine. If not, you're fucked at that point then. And I don't have it, and I'm not fucked because I don't give a shit. Because the reason why I like Titanfall 2 is because of its campaign. I'm with Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers on this one.
Yeah.
When he wants a Titanfall 3, yeah, so do I for a sequel to its campaign. Just saying.
Yep. I want a Titanfall 3 too.
I hope they don't call it that. Titanfall 3 2. That would be
Titanfall Part 3
Alright.
Edition 2.
that would be as stupid as Microsoft's console gaming tactics. Because what makes sense for naming something? PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at Xbox. Then Xbox 360. So far, so good. Xbox One. What? Xbox Series.
Xbox One S. Xbox.
I seriously want to know what drugs Phil Spencer is on, because I'm kind of in need to experience that kind of bliss right now myself. That level of being so far gone, I need some of that in my life right now, because I work in the fucking retail industry. So, and which is at the if mainstream media is the crossroads of political bullshit and Hollywood bullshit and every bullshit known to man, as George Carlin pointed out, well, guess what retail is? The crossroads of bullshit of every major industry and the gaming industry in one spot. I'm at Bullshit Junction as well with what I do for a living. And here I'm on YouTube Live talking with you wonderful people. So suffice to say, I'm at Bullshit Junction talking about Bullshit Junction on Bullshit Junction of another kind. Where's my Xbox Triple XL? LOL Chunk says. That would be that would be your web browser on your Xbox, Chunk.
That reminds me, there's supposed to be I don't know, something about the Xbox mini fridge or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's up for pre-order or what.
Target has some of those on sale on the sales floor here in my town right now.
Oh, so they're available now.
Yeah.
Last time I heard, they were supposed to be like available for pre-order or whatnot.
Well, we have them on the sales floor, so either someone fucked up or they're out already. And I lean towards they're out already, because normally at our store we don't fuck up like that.
Was it like $200, right?
I think I saw ours at $100. So I think it's $99.99 for ours at Target. So
Those are going to sell like hotcakes.
I think I saw 2 today, but I didn't really go past electronics. The last time I was there was on Tuesday, and I saw 2 by the boat in electronics. So, yeah, that's funny. We're selling mini fridges in electronics now. Yeah.
Hey, man, it's an important asset to a gamer.
Welcome to 2021. We're selling fridges and electronics by the video games now. Anyway.
All right, they don't have the Series X, but you want the Series X mini fridge?
So when is Sony gonna release their PlayStation microwave?
I don't know. Oh, that reminds me. You guys heard about that? I think it was the KFC gaming console.
Yes, I heard about that situation.
Heard about what?
It was the KFC console that was coming. I don't know if it's coming out or what. You can warm
Yeah.
chicken in it.
Yeah, and actually, there's another situation I should bring up involving that kind of, but not really, which was the Forza Horizon 5 had a situation where one of their users decided to create a custom vehicle skin, which was like making fun of Xi Jinping and his nukes and stuff. but what they did was they made it into a like Kentucky Fried Chicken logo looking thing, but it was for Xi Jinping's face.
Good grief.
And they got perma banned from Forza Horizon 5 for that.
Well, no shit.
No, I disagree with them getting banned.
Well,
that's
yes,
funny, but
so do I, but still, no shit they got banned.
But they had a glorious half an hour playing around with that, I'm sure.
Just like I don't agree with like having on your license plate certain things and then getting banned for it. Like, let's go,
Yeah.
Brandon.
I got that on my license plate on Forza Horizon 5, but so far nobody has said shit.
I have on mine Dr. What's Up. Thank you.
Yeah, let's just put it this way.
Thank you, Papa Drunk 3PO, for that.
The Xi Jinping KFC truck was not subtle.
Yeah. So, what was the topic we were discussing that you had, Joshy, before we got sidetracked by KFC and other bullshit?
That's a Titanfall.
Oh, yeah. Titanfall. I want Titanfall 3 as well. But, Nora, do you have anything you want to throw out there into the ether and see if it sticks?
No.
Well, in the mobile gaming world, the Pokemon Go decided to discontinue service for iOS 12. So anyone with iOS 12 can no longer play.
Excuse me. Oh. Excuse me, sorry.
No opinion on this matter because no phone I had has ever been able to run Pokemon Go in the first place.
No, I know, but I'm just, it's sort of like the Titanfall story, but not as probably dramatic, I guess.
And fewer people are going to give a shit.
Probably fewer.
I think.
Does still have millions of daily players, though.
Okay, few real gamers are going to give a shit.
Yeah.
Now, when I say real gamers, I mean like Chunk the Punk who plays on PlayStation and Nintendo, like Joshy who plays on Xbox and Nintendo, like Desert Nord who plays,
It's like
plays on Xbox and
we understand that.
And get a better
mobile
hobby than
gamers-
Pokemon Go. Or me who is on
The-
PC, PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox.
We understand that the mobile gamers are the Untermensch of gaming world.
And Chunk the Punk also plays Pokemon Go. Well, good for you, Chunk.
Yeah.
And I don't mean,
No.
and
then he doesn't care then.
well, Chunk might care, yeah. So, fuck, that means I'm going to have to fucking care from a journalistic standpoint. God damn it.
Look what you people have done to me,
Yeah. Because you guys are here, I'm forced to care about shit that I don't care about.
Oh, well.
God damn it. Anyway.
Broadening your horizons.
It's a lot more fun. They added a bunch of stuff. I feel like Chunk, like you and Desert North should like go have a Pokemon Go party together at this point. Like I should try to match you two up on a date so you can go on a Pokemon Go date together.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, Jedi Knight Lego, welcome to the stream, Jedi. Well, you guys got anything else since Jedi just popped in at the end here?
I would also mention that in a more console-related point, the Deadlands DLC was put out just this past month here, a couple weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
And it's the final portion of Blackwood 3SO, the final third of the series there of DLC.
Yeah.
So that's an important thing to ESO players.
So to recap a couple of things quickly here for Jedi that are major things that Jedi might want to know. Battlefront 3 is not happening because EA claims that the license is too expensive with Disney. Let's see. Games with gold for December suck. The free games offerings from Xbox with for members of Xbox Live Gold membership. PlayStation Plus is interesting, especially since, as Chunk has confirmed in the chat, Godfall will be playable on PS4 and will be a part of PlayStation Plus starting on Wednesday of next week. So that's a major deal. And there's a bill introduced in the House, I guess it is, right?
It would be, I would figure, yeah.
To try to stop scalping and make scalping bots illegal to use online. That's basically the major things that we talked about on today's stream to this point. That and Joshi brought up that Titanfall 1 will no longer be sold on digital storefronts, but servers will still be active to play it if you already own Titanfall 1 on the various platforms that you have it for as well.
Yep.
No problem, Jedi. Happy to do a recap of the important topics for you. So with that in mind, what time is it? 1:07? Jedi Knight says, "Hail, Joshi."
Hello, Jedi Knight. How's it going?
And everyone says, "Hail back to you, Jedi," as well.
Yep.
Evidently, we've accidentally jacked that phrase from Friday Night Tights, evidently. From Gary.
I'm sure Gary doesn't mind.
Well, actually, I'm pretty sure that it started with comic artist Pro Secrets, actually, when he was going Hail Caesar in his streams. So I'm pretty sure that started with him. So Gary jacked it from him, and then we jacked it from the jacker. Going great. Thanks. Hope you're all doing good. Yeah, we are as good as we can be on this fine Friday afternoon. Thank you for asking, Jedi. Because Jedi was asking if we are all doing well. I watch too many Friday Night Tights to not say it. Same here, because I wind up saying it to anyone in Mara's stream, and Steph's stream, and Lethal's stream, and Ryan's stream, and Geeks and Gamers. Hell, I've even said it to myself in some of my own streams too. So when I've popped into some of my own streams as Drewdat Entertainment, when I'm streaming as Drewdat Games, for example, I've said it to myself too. So and hell, if Desert Nord were to ever actually stream, I probably wind up saying it to him as well, because I'm programmed to say it just as much as well. I say it pretty much everyone. Yep, I'm in the same boat as you too, Jedi. But with that in mind, we do usually like to end any stream on a Friday, as in Desert Nord and I, talking about what we expect out of Friday Night Tights tonight. because we're huge fans of Gary and everyone that appears on there. Doesn't matter if it's Gary, Ryan Kennel, fuck Naughty Dog.
Did you happen to hear who the guest would be?
No, I do not. Have you?
No, I didn't.
I don't know.
Let me search and see if anything's been said on Twitter. While we're still live, because we're discussing it right now. Yeah, Gary is great Jedi. Yeah, Gary, Ryan, as a fucking specially. Because
Yeah, I'm not getting any indication from what I can see. Not
Friday,
yet, anyway.
Friday Night Tights is usually lacking without as on there. That's just how I feel.
yeah, As is the best, man. It's nice to see that lately it's been less of a sausage fest. Yeah, with Chrissy there.
I don't mind a sausage fest actually.
Well, yeah, but
Especially since usually Christie's involved. Or
well, that's what I was saying.
or Chrissy.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. With Chrissy there, it's mitigated.
Yeah, Gary did not tweet anything about it. Let me
Yeah,
check
he didn't
for-
tweet yet, but I'm sure in the next few hours we'll find out.
Let me see.
Or they might just keep a surprise until it's later.
D-Day
Oh yeah, maybe it'll be one of them spectacular ones. Maybe they'll have like Joe Rogan on or some crazy shit.
I know Jeremy did an interview with that one guy.
Jeremy hasn't tweeted anything since September 26th.
Oh yeah. Jeremy's Twitter is
Very silent.
yeah, quiet.
Yeah.
D-Day covers?
Yeah. His last tweet was about the meetup in Boston.
No, he's got two different channels.
Oh.
Look at the
He's got two. Well, I'm following the blue one.
the blue one is recent.
Yeah, I'm
This
following.
blue one that he,
I'm following his most recent one then. But I believe I follow both anyway. So, speaking
Yeah,
of
I
Friday
follow
Night
both, too.
Tights, I learned the theme the theme on guitar. I'm planning to record a video and sharing it with anyone that wants to hear it. Well, that's cool, Chunk. Let's see. I love Friday Night Tights crew. Yeah, Jedi Knight is just simping in our chat for Friday Night Tights hard. Which I do not mind because we do too here as well, to a degree. Speaking of Friday Night Tights, I learned. Oh yeah, that's what Chunk said. I already follow you and I'm subbed on YouTube. Chunk. Well, yeah. So anyway, like I was saying before, I was looking at Twitter to try to see if anything was said about who the guest is. There's nothing yet. So with that in mind, like I was saying though, doesn't matter if it's Gary, Ryan, as especially X-Ray Girl, whom you should be following on Twitch, and also Poor Choices on YouTube. Comics Division, Yelling at Parked Cars. Fun fact, Yelling at Parked Cars was inspired by, or what inspired Breaking Rocks on the other channel.
Yeah.
Case in point, we almost called it Yelling at Rocks. That's how much of an inspiration it was for Breaking Rocks. We almost called it Yelling at Rocks.
But then I correctly explained to you that we were in opposition to the aforementioned rocks. So we're here to break them.
Well, also the other idea of yelling at rocks was because of the navigator character for the High Republic.
No, I know exactly.
As well.
But we're here to break them.
Well, that's going to take a lot of effort, and I don't know if I have the patience anymore. But anyway.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Well, I certainly don't have patience for idiots and dumbasses.
Convictions are with us until we draw our last breath, bro.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Thank you thank you, Jedi, for sharing Chunk the Punk's YouTube channel link in the chat. Thank you for doing that.
Chunk the Punk's YouTube channel?
Yep. It's currently linked in the chat right now.
It's called Chunk the Punk.
Oh, fuck. Controller turned off again, so they couldn't hear me there. Jed, I linked it in the chat right now, so you can log into the stream and check the chat to click on the link to go to Chunk's YouTube channel, which I believe I'm also subscribed to as well, but I can't remember. Let's see, what else is going on in the chat here? So Chunk can't log into his YouTube anymore, so what you see is what you get. Fair enough. That's the way it is with my old Twitch channel. I can't log into it anymore. Outside of the PS4, can still stream to it for whatever fucking reason, but refuses to stream to the new Twitch channel of Rebooting Games, as you guys are currently following. So,
Just I'm on his profile right now, and it says
Well, I found one where he's got 12 uploads, but no subs.
yeah.
There's one subscriber.
Well, I don't know what's going on in chat anymore. All I know is I have 2 mods in there going back and forth about the other's channel.
Can there be 2 chunks?
God help us if there's 2 chunks. Because if that's the case, which one do we have as a moderator?
No idea.
At that point.
He'll have to link in chat.
It looks like remastered the original Blood Rain and Blood Rain 2 on the
well, that's not bad. Those are beloved games.
What are?
And $20 each, so the Blood Rain and Blood Rain 2. No, I'm just online trying to see if I can get some for $10. Gave me.
Yeah.
Maybe I could actually buy some. There, maybe, I don't know.
So, with that in mind, do we have anything else that we want to discuss with the chat here? Otherwise,
I don't have anything else.
Otherwise, since we have an active chat, what gaming related news do you guys in the chat want to discuss before we get out of here? Because it's only been about an hour and 18 minutes, so I think we can still go for a little while if you guys in the chat want to talk about anything, right, guys? Nord and Joshi?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What are you guys' thoughts on Battlefield?
Well,
I have a lot to say about that.
Well, I don't have any thoughts on the game, but I did tell Joshi a story off stream that I might as well say now. That Xbox Game Pass has like points that you can redeem for shit, right? Nord?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I redeemed about 8,000 of my 30 or 40 odd some thousand points to enter into a sweepstakes 25 times for a Battlefield 2032 branded Xbox Series X.
Yeah, you mean 2042?
Whatever the fuck the stupid name is.
2032 is probably a better game than 2042, but hey.
Whatever the fuck they decided to call the piece of shit. Because I'm not interested in in what the fucking system looks like. I'm interested in the fact that it's an Xbox Series X and a unique one at that point. That's all that interests me at that point. It's the fact that it's an next-gen Xbox with a fucking disk drive. I see you in the chat, Joshy. So
yeah, what I was gonna say about Battlefield 2042 is that it's so painfully apparent that the developers, designers, everybody who was involved with the production of the game have no idea how either A, guns work, or B, their history of World War II. And they missed the point that if you're going to, go apart from reality, you have to make the game fun instead. Like, if you're not going to make it real, you have to make it fun. You can't make it not fun and not real. Otherwise, it's just shit.
Yeah.
And so,
go ahead.
that's where we're at with that game right now.
Yeah, well, there's no campaign, so it has no interest for me at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because my point is, like, their obsession with red dot sites. Like, yes, that's a very common, very helpful item, but they weren't used. So, like, we're basically going to lie to ourselves and say that, oh, no, our great-grandfather stormed the beaches of Normandy with red dot sights. No, they didn't.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's things like that. They're just the obsession with breaking off the stocks of every gun and customization going completely insane to the point of things being bullpup to insanity. And then you've got the wokeness of the storyline of the game to begin with. So, I mean, it's really just like, it's like a bunch of wokies designing World War II games, what it is.
Yeah, they're just like so out of touch with this new Battlefield. It's just, ugh.
Uh-huh.
Like, even, I don't know, like, for some reason, like, I did play the beta, and all of a sudden, like, one day, it came up, and all of a sudden, it showed that Battlefield was downloaded in my game. I was like, what the heck is this? Like, I didn't put it in. I guess it was the trial that just automatically downloaded it. But at the times I played the trial, I didn't even finish one match. Like, the second time I tried it, I got killed by a hovercraft like within like a minute that I jumped in. I not even a minute. And then like once I spawned back in, my Xbox froze and then hard crashed.
Mm-hmm.
Basically just turned off, and I had to restart it by pushing the button on the Xbox. So I was like, what the hell? I'm like, okay, I'm done with this Battlefield.
Yeah.
It can be fun. It can be fun, though, because I did play the beta, and it can be pretty fun, though. But it's just, like, horrible.
Yeah, none of what I have to say about it negatively is about the multiplayer. The multiplayer is fine, but it's just the storyline and how they designed it. All of it is just all very out of touch and not. It's basically just one big disrespectful middle finger, if you ask me, to the history that went on there for real.
Speaking of shitty multiplayers, Halo Infinite. Yeah.
It's a love-hate relationship for me.
It's a just played my first Halo multiplayer ever this year, and it's shit. So that's my first experience with Halo multiplayer is Halo Infinite. So Never played the multiplayer from any previous Halo because I was never an online gamer throughout the 360 days at the time. My first time playing online games was on Xbox One and PS4. So, with that in mind, I'm inclined to not give a shit about Halo multiplayer because of it. Even though the history of Halo multiplayer, evidently according to Joshy, was it used to be good at that point. Jedi Knight in the chat says, and it's like I always say, 2 chunks are always better than 1. Well, 2 snipers in the chat, yes, are better than the 1 because that means that I don't have to worry about a goddamn thing. And I got 2 mods in the chat, so I got my 2 snipers. I have a punk, and I have a Jedi Knight in the chat, and that's all I need. Except for, I do have one other, no offense to you guys, slightly more important person in the chat. Me. As my other YouTube channel, Dredat Entertainment. So Raging Drew is effectively in the chat too. So, but either way,
I could join the chat on there too, and it'd be like that Matrix meme of the best thing about me is that there's so many of me. You know.
Yeah.
Other than that, I have nothing else to add.
But as I was saying in the chat, do you guys have anything gaming related other than Jedi having us simp like hell for Chunk the Punk and his channel in the chat? Do you guys have anything gaming related in the chat that you guys want to discuss before we get out of here? Because otherwise, what are you guys going to be up to gaming related after we get done here? While waiting for Friday Night Tights to start and whoever's going to be on. Because if it's such a closely guarded secret, I got to imagine it's got to be something big.
Yeah, you'd think.
Although, when it was Alex Jones, they didn't keep that a fucking secret. Not even for a second. So, how big really could it be? Because if they're willing to tout that out, if they're willing to keep it a closely guarded secret, maybe they're ashamed of who's on tonight.
Well, maybe it's so insanely. Maybe they got Trump and they got Gina Carano.
Well,
that was like, oh my God, we're going to kill everyone. The internet is going to burn up and die.
Well, I can tell you it's not myself. There's an order, Joshy. Right?
They'll have like 1.8 million people in the stream.
Am I right to assume that you're not on Friday Night Tights, Joshy?
I'm starting to get into more of the Friday Night Tights. I've watched like 1 or 2 episodes.
No, I was asking you if you're on it. If you're the guest.
No.
Okay. As I was assuming, no one from Dredat Games is on it. That much I can tell you.
Joshy would never keep that from us.
No.
Well, trust me, if I was on Friday Night Tights, I would have a lot to say. I'm like, forget about hell freezing over. Hell is fucking gone. At that point.
Hell is all ice now.
Hell is gone. The devil is dead. We don't have to worry about sin ever again. At that point. And 2, after that statement, try to keep me quiet about it. I dare you. If I were to ever be on Friday Night Tights, I would be tweeting on my way to work, on my break at work, after work, and probably every hour on the hour until the stream finally starts. More than likely. Just to remind you guys, I'm on Friday Night Tights. Type of bullshit. But with that in mind, yeah, I agree, Jedi. Gina would be great. I don't expect it anytime soon because she's usually a very busy woman, and rightly so. Because she's filming a movie about, God help us, Hunter Biden. Fuck.
No.
So.
It ought to be good, I imagine.
And thank you for dropping the link to It's a Gundam's channel in the chat too, Jedi. I do appreciate that as well. So shout out to Papa Gundam. Not that many people watch this shit anyway. We only got 3 viewers, and one is Chunk, one is Jedi, and the other is me in my own stream.
Yeah.
But yeah. This has apparently turned into a Friday Night Tights talk stream, apparently, now to end it. But,
no.
Well, fuck it. We're going down this rabbit hole. We might as well go down to the bottom at this point. Because you guys know me. Once I start going down a rabbit hole, I'm going to the fucking bottom. So with that in mind, who would be your guys' most ideal special guest for tonight for Friday Night Tights, considering that it's a complete and utter fucking mystery and it's a secret, apparently? Nord?
Well, I already kind of told you on that one already. I think the most internet breaking guest would be Donald Trump himself.
That's true. That would probably get Nerdrotic canceled off of the fucking internet entirely.
Oh yeah.
The stream would get taken down. Jedi Knight says Krista Nova would be Jedi Knight simping for Krista again.
Yeah.
As Jedi always does in every stream that Jedi is in. Because, like in radio streams on Twitch, Jedi are throwing. I'm throwing rice at Jedi, and Jedi's throwing it at Krista, who's not even there. But yeah.
Yep.
Maybe it could be Jade Shadow.
That would be interesting. Now you're simping for Mara. So, Desert Nord, who? So, are you going to simp for Trump then?
Well, no. Especially by the strict definition, no, I would never do that.
Okay. So,
but,
so then, considering that, now we're turning in this to who would we simp for Friday Night Tights? Then, so it's Krista Nova for Jedi. It's who? Mara evidently for Joshi. So who are you simping for Friday Night Tights, the Desert Nord?
Well, Lauren Shen was a good one.
Okay, so Desert Nord is simping for her.
Maybe Eric July could get Sarah Gonzalez on there. That'd be great.
I'm only going to say this as a joke just to see what the hell the chat says. If we're picking someone to simp for, in the definition that it's supposed to be, because I think it's like the definition is supposed to be throw money and want at someone because you want to fuck them, right?
Well, here maybe you can have another more insane crossover. You could have Greg Gutfeld on there.
Okay, fuck that. I'm simping for Greg Gutfeld. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Well, they've already had Alex Jones, so why the hell not, right?
Jedi Knight says Steph ? That would be interesting to see her on Friday Night Tights.
Oh, yeah.
I could think of someone else that might get Gary in trouble. Simp is whatever the fuck that word that Jedi typed is in marriage.
Implies.
No, it's INTERPRETED. Interpreted. Okay.
Interpreted.
Yeah.
Yeah, interpreted.
My memory of how to read is like a lazy Susan. It's basically like drunk 3PO, as if I'm his biological son.
Yeah.
So hey, Doctor, what's up here? Evidently.
Uh-huh.
But with that in mind, it's interpreted in marrying ways. So fine. Who would you marry, I guess, is what we're saying. Joshy would marry Mara. Have fun getting your nuts kicked. Desert Nord would marry Lauren Chen. Have fun getting your nuts kicked by her husband.
No, simping just means complimenting and being, like infatuated.
Then that means that I
That's
simp
all that
for
means.
absolutely everyone that follows me then. So that means that I simp for Joshy, I simp for Desert Nord, I simp for Jedi, Mara, Steph on Twitter, Mr. Spicy Beard, Cowman. This is when the chat, after every name I should be saying what? Like I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin. I simp for Chunk. What? Desert Nord. Chunk. Mara J. Chunk. Minority Home. Chunk. Gary from Nerdrotic. Chunk. Or what? Sorry. I started saying Chunk and I don't know why. Anyway. My what's turned into not Mary. Many ways. Like I said, I cannot read. I am. Hello, Doctor. What's up here? Son of drunk 3PO, evidently. God damn it. So it's interpreted in many ways. Yes, it is. My definition of simp is this. You are a fan of that person. You want to support their content by liking and sharing their content. Not necessarily throwing money at them, but if you do, that's appreciated. That's my definition of simp. So therefore, I simp for anyone who simps for me. I simp for the people who treat me with respect. That's Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, Ryan Kinnell, Minority Home, Mara J, Joshy064, my own brother, Desert Nord. I simp for Judah Entertainment, which is myself. I simp for Jedi Knight Lego, for Chunk the Punk, and for anyone who is subscribed to this channel and follows me on Twitch and Twitter. I simp for all of us. Like Tom McDonald claims in one of his albums, Us Against the World, I fight for all of us, I simp for all of us. So there you go. Who do I simp for? For us.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
but yeah, the point I would make though is that there is a lot of possibilities for good guests on that FNT.
Just to read from the chat what Jedi said here before we get back to Friday Night Tights here and talking about it. In my opinion, simping is when you have big crush on someone, even if you don't donate, even if there's no compliments given. It's about the feeling.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. Kind of like how Anna the Star Wars girl is with Henry Cavill.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
Or.
If that's the case for me, it's not sexual. It's just because I respect and admire the person so much and love their sense of humor and how they carry themselves. Therefore, if that's how we're going to look at the definition, then I simp for heel versus babyface without any question.
Yeah, I was going to say Jay Longbone loves Henry Cavill too.
And I simp for heel versus babyface, not in the homo way.
So does Tugs and X-Ray Girl.
Oh yeah, they all love Henry.
Well, who the fuck wouldn't love Henry Cavill? That's into guys.
Yeah. There was one bachelorette thing. What is it? At Port Choices, they were talking about Henry Cavill Big sweatpants.
That's why I only rarely tune into Poor Choices.
Yeah.
They got some weird stuff that they talk about.
From my point of view, for me to tune into Poor Choices, I would probably be compelled to say in their chat, well, tuning in was a poor choice tonight. This stream just lived up to its name. You all simp how you want to simp. Respect that 100%. Exactly, Jedi. But as I said earlier, when it comes to the community, I want to support the entire community. But if we're talking about admiring someone and having kind of a man crush on someone, but not that kind of man crush, for me, it's heel versus babyface. It's Hot Toys. It's Az. That man is a joy to listen to. Funny as fuck. Although I don't know how funny fucking is. Depends on who's doing the fucking. Although I would be grossed out between Lethal Lightning and Brie Larson, though. Anyway. But then again, I'm still dreading the Tom McDonald video. Anyway, Friday Night Tights.
But yeah, Az is one of the most comedic and therefore enjoyable guests.
Yeah, and in fact, he did inspire something that I rarely do on the channel anymore because, well, I did it when it was pre-recorded, but whenever something would piss me off, I would usually go, and Sony's getting sued too, because Az is an inspiration at that point. In reference to a topic we talked about earlier when it comes to give me a second, controller just died.
Hello?
Yeah, you must have dropped off again.
Yeah.
Give me one. Sure. Fuck. I forgot where I moved the thing.
Oh, that poor choice. They just go off talking. They usually try to talk about Bachelor, but then they get drunk, or they're already drunk and they just talk about random shit. It's funny.
Yeah.
Sorry, the controller died.
Oh,
yeah.
No. The controller died.
So as I was saying, like I said earlier in an earlier topic, when Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo released their statements about the Activision Blizzard situation, when a good time, if I had done it earlier in the stream, would have been the as-like thing of Sony's getting sued for similar shit as well. Anyway.
Yeah.
In as-like fashion, as I am an as simp, if you will. Jedi says in the chat, I sent for Krista Nova. I sent for Dr. Rachel Lindbergh. I sent for Katie Kid 3. Don't know who that is. And I sent for the song Glory of Love from the Karate Kid 2.
Oh, there's also Wicked Virtue is pretty cute too.
Yeah. But like I said, as. But anyway, Friday Night Tights special guests. The most ideal for me, other than Gina Carano.
Yeah, the long awaited too.
Yeah. Just to piss off that side of things, Donald Trump, I'd be fine with.
Yeah, that would absolutely burn the whole show to the ground. Honestly.
Even though, and I don't like talking about this here, but I will just for this one moment, when Donald Trump talked about violence in video games leading to violence in the real world, he pissed me the fuck off. So I will never be
that type of thing.
Yeah.
That type of thing is why he'll never do it, and they'll never have him on. Is because there is a deep chasm between that end of politics and gaming. None of the people on Friday Night Tights ever wanted to be political. They just wanted to be gamers.
Yeah,
You know.
that's the way I was before the 2020 election. Then that happened, and the proverbial shit hit the fan when my point of view of our shit in our country was what it was now since 2012, and 2020 happened, and I went, told you.
Yeah, the individuals who don't allow you to not have an opinion on things are who caused this.
No.
But it is the way it is now.
No.
Oh,
The silence is violence crowd is the reason this happened.
oh, Karate Kid 3. Okay. Like I said, drunk 3PO's son, fuck off. At least when I know that I don't know how to pronounce a username, I don't try. Unlike drunk 3PO, who thinks Drew That Games is Dr. What's Up. Just saying.
Yeah.
And he's a fucking teacher. And I'm a retail employee. Think about it for a minute. He's qualified to teach your children how to read. Just like comedian Tim Wilson was an English major. He was qualified to teach your children grammar. With a deep southern accent. Think about it for a minute. Anyway, with that in mind, yes, I know, not Caddy Kid. I know, Jedi. Shut up. Anyway, outside of Gina, fuck Trump, because I hate politics anyway. But then again, I've also said that many times about the other guy. So, but we've already had It's a Gun, and we've had Razor Fist, whom I've loved both of those guys being on. I want them both on at the same time.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be Biggles on the show.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's a secret. Maybe it is Biggles tonight.
Or maybe Gary's so into it he's gotten the scoop on Kyle. You know. Maybe he'll have Kyle on and it'll really break the internet.
What if it's Vince fucking McMahon? Well, then this is the first one I'm not watching live in a while.
Yeah, if Gary doesn't want people to tune in, he'll have Vince on. Yeah.
He'll have the out of touch old man who is as out of touch as some other old man we know. We know at this point in our country's history. But
reminds me of that episode where they started off the first like 25 minutes with those two guys who were comedians pretending to be soy boys. Like they turned off like half the audience with that.
I was one of them. Because I was thinking about going to play Anthem.
Yeah, it was real bad. But then after about 25 minutes of that incessant soy boy bullshit, they finally dropped the pretense. We're like, yeah, we're just kidding. And everyone was like, oh my God, this is the greatest troll of his own audience that Gary's ever done.
Chunk,
you know.
Chunk says in the chat, Gary leaving California in a couple of weeks. Yes, I'm well aware of that. He has been saying that quite a bit.
Yeah, he's finally escaping.
Yeah.
God help him.
Like me with going to Arizona at some point next year, I'm still leaning towards the fall at this point. Given certain things have transpired with our family and our sister that lead me to go, well, spring is probably a no-go. I would feel more comfortable in the fall at this point, giving everyone enough time to plan things around me leaving. So, yeah. So that update.
Yeah, it's a process.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course it's a process going across country. Look at Gary. He's been planning it for years. I've been in discussion with with my family on leaving Minnesota for years, and only in the last 6 months have I went, fuck it, I'm leaving. Or something like that. So
well, yeah, no, it's getting, I'm sure up there it's getting pretty hard to hang around. There's just no reason anymore.
Well, in regards to not seeing people anymore outside of going to work, yeah.
No, I know, but the state has gone insane right now.
Well, the city I'm in still seems relatively normal. People seem to act usual around here for what passes as usual. That sounds as silly as the comment from Han Solo to Chewie in A New Hope. I believe it was in Jedi when he said to Chewie, I don't know, fly casual. Just what the fuck does that mean anyway? Fly casual.
That was a good one, actually, because that he had to ask it, because that's exactly what was going through the mind of the audience.
Yeah. That would be the equivalent if one of you guys said, I don't know, stream casual. Oh, so I'm supposed to take my shirt off now? Well, that ain't happening. Because my idea of casual is laying on my futon without a shirt on. And I'm not doing that because the idea is to grow the channel, not cancel it.
It's kind of like when somebody tells you to act naturally. And you're like, well, when have I ever acted unnaturally? Honestly.
Well, in my case, when have I ever acted naturally in the first place?
Well, by definition, natural means whatever is most comfortable. Most people act naturally all the time anyway. So it defeats its own definition.
Okay, what's your definition of comfortable then?
When people say act naturally, what they're really meaning is act calm, chill out. That's what they mean. Sometimes, for some people, that's not natural.
My freezer isn't big enough for me to fit in it. I would have to go to work and lock myself in the walk-in freezer at work to chill out then. Because I have the windows open and it's in the 40s and it ain't helping.
Yeah.
Anyone here see Cobra Kai? I've been meaning to watch it. I am subscribed to Netflix. Just like I've been meaning to finish watching the first episode. I'm 10 minutes into Squid Game too. So
yeah, Cobra Kai was absolutely the most perfect reboot of all time. It has to be.
I have the game for
you can't do a reboot
on the Xbox One over there somewhere.
Yeah.
So a fan of Cobra Kai, I'm a casual fan of it. Like I said, I have the Xbox One game of Cobra Kai there somewhere on the shelving here. But
honestly, in film schools and in schools where they're teaching writing and teaching, how to properly write scripts and stuff, they should actually teach that as a perfect example of how you reboot a series, because it's perfect.
I watched the first 2 episodes. I know it's good though, but it's like.
You have to already be a Karate Kid fan to begin with, so
now
it's acquired taste.
Now we've turned this into content for the other channel.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, they brought it up, so.
Yeah.
About it.
Well, I was asking you guys to talk about gaming, and you guys didn't want to do that, so now you're talking about TV in the chat. All right, well, whatever. But anyway, Friday Night Tights, outside of Gina, and everyone that we mentioned, I can think of a couple of people who have not pissed me off that are stars in the world yet that I wouldn't mind seeing on there. Like, just to get that Star Wars girl a little bit wet, Henry Cavill. At that point. But for me personally, Jeff Dunham. I wouldn't mind seeing.
If if Gary wants to make it extremely like gaming related, he could get Todd Howard or
Fuck off.
or he could get Kojima. Although I don't know what they talk about because Kojima barely can speak English.
Yeah.
Forgive me, but I have to say it. They would have to try to get Extra Girl to try to translate.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I had to say it.
Yeah. That'd be funny. Just a thought's funny.
Yes, I do see that you have the Cobra Kai pick as your logo for your account there, Jedi. I like it too. But
Yep.
outside of that, Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah, comedians are always good. That's why Az is so good.
Yeah, I would love to see, especially Gabriel Iglesias, to interact with Az on stream. That is fucking gold. You cannot plan that any better.
Yeah.
Not to mention, he would fit the narrative that Hollywood likes of checking the box because he's Mexican. Speaking of Mexicans, how about Ivan?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you not know who Ivan is, Joshi?
Medium?
No, the editor for Geeks and Gamers.
Oh, no.
J-
No, I only know the Geeks and Gamers guys, so I know there's
he has appeared on camera. He's played Mario Kart with them. At least I think his name is Ivan. He is effectively Jeremy, a Geeks and Gamers token Mexican guy.
Yep.
I've seen it once, twice possible.
He's been he's been on their Mario Kart streams before, so. But him on Friday Night Tights would be interesting, for 5 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Let's see who else would be, I think, good at least. I don't think this would ever happen because I don't know if any of them would get along with him. Actually, Jedi's got a great one in the chat. Perry Chan.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's a given that's a good idea. He does the openings for the fucking show every week.
Oh yeah. He's definitely in the good editing category.
But otherwise, trying to think of other names. Let's see. From my point of view, that I would enjoy at least. I already went through the comedian. Lewis Black was where I was going. I don't think he would ever do it. I don't think they would ever want him on. But I love his comedy, so.
Yeah.
But,
Ron White's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Ron is great.
Ben Bailey, the host of Cash Cab.
Oh yeah, well, he's also a comedian, before that.
I know.
So,
I know.
And it's probably what everybody knows him from, though. So
Someone pretending to be the ghost of George Carlin. That would be interesting for a few minutes.
Oh yeah, but he was a different breed. I can't imagine him taking such a thing seriously.
Exaggeration Nation is a good idea, Jedi. Yeah. I also wouldn't mind Phil TMNT as well from our community.
Yeah.
I can't believe I just thought of this now. Mark the Cyborg.
Oh yeah.
Well,
figure it out
I suppose Mark the Cyborg is easy to forget about because he's not all there. No. Never mind then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because he's missing a leg. He's not all there.
Yeah.
Never mind. I thought that would be funnier than it was because it was hilarious in my head. Anyway. But anyway. Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. Jedi Knight Lego would be good to see on Friday Night Tights. Since I'm throwing my followers under the bus, I'm going to throw them on Friday Night Tights. Joshi, Jedi, Chunk, Cowman, Mara, we said earlier. Minority Home, we said earlier. Mr. Spicy Beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially since that guy's a good guy. I've played Mario Kart with him, and he knew that I was better than him. And I was trolling him, just waiting at the finish line because I was so far ahead. And I just let like 3 people pass me, I think including him, and I came in like 4th or 5th. And he went, how in the hell did that happen? I'm like, I waited at the finish line because I was bored.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to win another race for the first time in a while. Yeah. Jetta knows who Mr. Spicy Beard is as well. Yeah. I'm too shy to go on any stream. I don't give a shit, Jedi. Because if you're on Xbox Live, we would be happy to have you as a guest on here, too. Or on Breaking Rocks, even.
It's all right. Everybody's first stuff is always shy and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But keeping in mind that on here, the guys are here by way of Xbox Live, so you wouldn't be on camera anyway. Only your voice would be heard. So.
Yeah.
The only person that ever appears on camera on my channel is me at this point. Even though I used to have CD on camera when he still gave a shit about coming around until he started agitating about the jab at that point.
Yeah.
And then that stopped. Jedi says in the chat here, a great idea magically popped into my head conveniently as Chunk said that Chunk would be great on FNT. I don't think Chunk said that. I'm pretty sure I did.
Yes.
And Chunk says, no, Jedi, I wouldn't.
Yeah, the biggest problem with FNT is that there's only room for 9.
Yeah, so, but obviously we love it for who's already there. Gary as Jeremy when he's not traveling. X-Ray Girl. Tom from Midnight's Edge.
Odin.
Quarter Black Goods.
Yeah, comics.
If they want representation, they're missing a black girl.
Well, yeah, that's why they could have Jay Longbone.
I was going to say radio.
Or that.
Radio would be wonderful, especially if you have her on at the same time as Dan Vask. With the both of them singing a duet together. There's some gold for you, Gary.
But if I may say so, Jay Longbone is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
More than just a black girl to me.
Jedi also says radio or Lorena. Yeah.
Or what's his name's wife? Eric July's wife.
Oh yeah, lady. What's he called? Queen or lady something? I forgot.
Nina. Jedi says Nina Infinity. Yes, that would be great too. But so would Mandy Summers, just for gaming or what to watch Friday Night Tights. Gaming or what? Anyway.
Yeah.
I do like the way Mandy says gaming's name too. So kind of like how we all love how Mara says my name. Lady Gravemaster would be good to be have back on again. Yeah, that's true, Jedi. Now Jedi is just listing name after name after name now.
Oh yeah, and we all love Carrie Smith.
Well, yeah, and she introduced me on Friday Night Tights to my favorite independent artist outside of Chris Webby at this point, Tom McDonald.
Yeah.
If you guys have not heard of Chris Webby, go check him out. Raw Thoughts 5 on YouTube. Go watch that. You guys need to check that out.
Oh yeah, he's pretty good with it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I need some coffee.
Because I did a reaction on the entertainment channel to that video, and yeah, still scared to do Tom McDonald today. I'd come on these podcasts, but I don't have an Xbox. Yes, I know, Chunk. We've had this argument before. You said that before, and I said you can easily find an Xbox One at a used game place too, for like even a fraction of what Target would sell it at that point.
You get a refurbished one too. Refurbished ones are actually better cheaper too.
Yeah. At that point.
My first Xbox was refurbished one from GameStop.
My first Xbox was the original from Target, and then my next one after that was a refurbished one from Warp Zone Video Games here in town. And actually, technically, every 360 I ever bought was from Warp Zone. Mine, Desert Nords, the two replacements, the slim one that I currently have that has built-in Wi-Fi capabilities. Yeah. After that,
I bought a black Call of Duty themed one.
Of course, you bought a Call of Duty one because you're a shooter fan.
It was a good deal. I didn't care about the Call of Duty part of it.
Well, that surprises me because you were there for the very first game on the GameCube.
Oh yeah, and then it was good too. And people can, don't at me, It's a good game. It was a good game.
The first one, yeah, I remember watching you play it. It was interesting. For the time,
it actually paid respect. It did everything that Battlefield 2042 refuses to do.
Have a good day, Jetto. See you probably in the chat for Friday Night Tights then.
Later.
Yep.
Have a good one, Chunk. We will see you around as well. So with that in mind, since everyone's bailing, we're going to wrap up our stream. What are you guys finally going to be playing later while waiting for Friday Night Tights? Even though it's only going to probably be about 2 hours or so, depending if Gary's late or not.
I'm going to try and get achievement on 12 rounds.
What am I talking about? Of course Gary's going to be late. He's always late.
I'm going to try and get achievement on 12 minutes, and then after that I'll be on Halo.
Nord?
Yep, I am trying to clean up and finish up on ESO.
Myself, probably going to go back to playing Fallout 3 on my 360 because I started doing that right before I made something to eat earlier. Because I have that hooked up to my newer TV and whatnot. The same one I got the PS4 hooked up to because I just got them flipping consoles around because I realized that if I'm going to stream, I need my newer TV hooked up to the laptop so I can see the stream and chat from the futon with where everything is now because I have a slightly different setup now, which means in the background is my kitchen instead of the Skyrim blanket. Which means that in my streams, what's going to be in the background is my Jesus poster, my We Support Our Troops poster, Cyrodiil poster, and my Night City poster from Cyberpunk on the wall behind me. And potentially Spider-Man and a gaming sign and my Fallout 4 poster of the perks from the game. But with all of that in mind, yeah, I'm going to be playing Fallout 3. Or probably this, that, and the other thing. Who knows? Because I always just wind up saying one thing and wind up going, you know what? I actually feel like doing this instead. So even I don't know if I'm actually going to follow through on what I'm saying right now until I actually get. I usually cross the bridge when I get to it with pretty much everything in life. And that includes deciding what game I want to play in that moment. Because I'll say one thing and wind up doing something else.
No.
But after that, obviously Friday Night Tights tonight till I fall asleep and have to be at work at 3:30 in the morning tomorrow. Then, I would normally stream on a Friday, but since we do this is the stream on Friday now. So no Twitch streams on Fridays anymore because of it. Because also Friday Night Tights I watch anyway.
Yeah, and shout out to Razor Fist Arcade stream.
Yeah, shout out to Razor Fist Arcade's streams as well. Yes, indeed. He plays all kinds of stuff. So tomorrow...
And that would be tonight also, yeah.
So tomorrow I will be live on Twitch. Playing what? I don't fucking know. Something. Because obviously you can't play nothing on Twitch. Well, you can, but that's just chatting with people. And I haven't figured out how to do that yet on Twitch, so... Once I figure it out, I might try to do that just to interact with the following that I have over there. But with all of that in mind, we did over an hour of bullshitting with the chat. So, like an hour and 11 minutes of bullshitting with the chat. But with that in mind, thank you to Chunk the Punk, who is not here anymore, Jedi Knight Lego, and anyone else who will be watching this later. Oh, and thank you to Drew.Entertainment Entertainment for popping into the chat as well. You're welcome. Thank you to Doesn't Know Joshi, our team here at Drew.Games. Games. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
And with that in mind, I don't know when we'll do Breaking Rocks over on the other channel. We usually do that when there's something major that's eating away at us at that point. And when I say eating away at us, I usually mean like it's been festering for about a month, and that's when I should go, fuck it, I want to talk about this bullshit type of festering. So that means Breaking Rocks generally is supposed to be like a once a month, once in a while thing. So with that in mind, at some point in December, maybe before Christmas, we'll see what happens.
In the next week or two, I'd imagine. Yeah. Well,
it depends on what who will say or do, or the next time he'll shit his pants. or the next person he'll accidentally fart at that will offend them, which is probably everybody. Although I'm pretty sure if he walked into a room I'm in, I'd leave because I'd be offended by his presence.
If it gets any worse, he's going to dissolve into a pile of
shit.
Talk about Biden, right?
Yeah, of course.
What's that, Joshi?
For Biden, I guess he was 2 minutes late to the lighting ceremony of the tree or something like that.
Aww.
That's
I guess what was it? Like, hey, LL Cool J was like, "Oh, here's Biden and his wife," or whatever, and then like 2 minutes later, he's like, oh, "Okay, let's do it again." I guess he went to use the restroom by that.
I wonder how late to something like that Gary would have been.
Yeah, very.
About
is any indication?
About 45 minutes. Which means place your bets to end the stream. How late of a start will Friday Night Tights have? I'm predicting the 40 minutes tonight. You guys?
Yeah, it's a safe average, but boy, his longest was bad. He was almost an hour late that other week. I would say that I'd go with the conservative 25 minutes.
Joshy?
15 minutes.
Somebody simping for Gary.
Well, that's when Gary's on the top of his game.
Anyway, with all of that said, thank you to all of you who have watched, who will watch afterwards. God help you if you watch afterwards, because this is a long fucking thing. But with that in mind, see you guys tomorrow on Drew Dad Games on Twitch to play. Actually, Saturday, so it's Star Wars, or at least it's supposed to be Star Wars. So some Knights of the Old Republic tomorrow, then. And with that said, for tomorrow, may the Force be with you. Fuck Naughty Dog. Fuck Activision Blizzard. Sony can go suck its own PS5. And I will see you guys tomorrow on Twitch. Have yourself a great night. And all hail Friday Night Tights. Later, guys.
And let's go, Brandon.
Have a good one. Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah. Later, guys.
Later, guys.